Hey everybody, Brian Von Vier here, back at it again with another set of D&D stories. You know, some of my favorite stories to tell are those that have that initial wow factor, and today's, they aim to do just that for a lot of people out here. What is your best one-hit KO story, part 2? This one I have picture evidence of. During an arc in a vampire town that was the result of the DMPC screwing the pooch on a bunch of navigation rolls, we were, after failing several jobs, tasked with polluting the town blood supply to destroy the, arguably, evil Count's magical control of the area. We got in pretty easily, but we attracted some suspicion. A few guards come in to investigate. Our party has a paladin and a cleric, so we're not exactly worried, and the sorcerer knows disintegrate. Before anything big can happen, a darkness spell goes up from our side, giving me a turn to put on Spirit Shroud for an extra D8 of damage. One vamp runs out of the darkness and comes right up into my face. I'm a kobold. I'm a paladin. I have an ally right next to it. I have advantage. I have bless on me. I have all my spell slots. I swing, I crit, 3rd level slot right off the bat, plus 1d8 passive smite, plus 1d8 spirit shroud, plus 4d8 smite, plus an extra 1d8 for hitting an undead. First hit at level 11, 70 damage. I use my second attack, also a crit thanks to pack tactics. 2nd level slot rolls really low overall, 34 total damage. The vampire is ashed on the spot before any of its allies even break out of the darkness. I had not swung a single attack at a vampire this entire arc, so I imagine it was just the no-nut November catching up to him. So one of my players is a gnome rogue, Zach Diet, and another is a half-elf Pact of the Archfey warlock, Arlen. Arlen is mostly support and tries to charm and frighten most enemies. One time he used a certain feature from his subclass to try and charm a few goblins, and one of them rolled a nat 1, so I told him that the goblin is now convinced Arlen was his long-lost best friend and is about to become the party's pet. Cue the end of combat, where Zach Diet wakes up, and due to having been down the first turn of combat with these goblins and some backstory stuff also with goblins nearly killing him, I have him roll sanity when he sees Arlen's new goblin pet still alive, and he gets a nat 1. I explain that he is now rushing the goblin in an attempt to kill it and tell him to roll to hit. He gets a nat 20, and since Arlen is within 5 feet of the goblin, he gets sneak attack damage and instantly decapitates the goblin. A few sessions later, and we hit level 3, and Arlen takes Pact of the Chain and summons a pseudo-dragon as is familiar with it. Cue our latest session where the group is fighting some undead, and Zach Diet sneaks at the start of combat and goes to throw a dagger at a nearby zombie. He has advantage, so there's no way he'll miss. Double nat 1s. I tell him he loses his balance and ends up throwing his dagger into the party. And I roll a d6 to see who he hits, and I roll a 4, which is Arlen's pseudo-dragon. I tell him to roll damage, and he gets 11 total, which is the pseudo-dragon's exact HP, and kills it. Arlen's player then made a meme about Zach Diet killing Arlen's pets instead of the enemies. The fact that he keeps one-shotting them is all the funnier. I feel a trope coming on. We had a one-shot while the DM was cooking up some story for the main campaign one weekend. We all brought snacks and marveled as our DM described in the most incredible detail, forgetting that this was just a prop for our one-shot and wasn't going to matter later anyway. Fast forward a little bit, and my first ever mid-high level sorcerer was in town to make some cash. Our DM said that we could bring one enchanted or a set of minor enchanted items. I convinced him to let me bring 2 bags of my chosen secret item with chocolate cookies he liked. Next thing, my character stumbles around and finds City Center, noting then that there was a giant stage at the center where a small crowd and one giant beefcake, our one-shot's female barbarian, were watching a play. Suddenly, a giant rip in the fabric of whatever popped open, and out came a giant chain devil. The behemoth-described beast fell onto the stage, punching a massive hole in the center, much to the displeasure of our arts-enthusiastic barbarian. Our DM played Final Fantasy's Sephiroth fight music through his speaker. She raged and was immediately kicked back when I stormed in wanting to help. The devil grabbed me, and my turn comes up. I thought about casting Crown of Madness to make him freak out and let me go. However, it would have resulted in me being smashed like a club by Bam Bam. I proudly proclaimed this to my party and then exclaimed that it was all due to my 12 intelligence. I was very proud. Then I cast Fireball, was asked if I was sure, and also said yes. I was very happy about my damage rolls, knowing full well this could backfire, but I'm part dragonkin, so I wasn't scared. It explodes, much to the horror of the barbarian, who proceeded to cry and scream at this point while threatening me to pay for her stage. She was just a spectator anyway. The DM then informs me that the demon took nothing, as it's immune, and light drained from my eyes when the DM said, "The demon laughs," and then throws you at the nearest building before walking off. I was badly injured. I gathered my last few HP and healed myself with potions, and then ran after the creature. Right before my character lost consciousness for 2 turns, my character saw the barbarian charging at the creature to protect me. I watched as they fought while moving down the road before my character passed out. Running now, I catch up as the barbarian is looking a little worse for wear, while the demon seemed to be missing some chains. The barbarian raged and began to smack the demon with very poor rolls, while I failed for a few rounds, only then to remember I had gotten telekinesis or some other ability which allows for magical control over multiple objects. I used it on the items in my bag, which were +1 javelins, and all 30 of them began dancing in the air. I proceeded to use them to make a pincushion out of the beast, and then one more bonus round of attacks because of some other skill I had, and I was able to pierce this creature approximately 51 times in 2 turns. Each weapon rolled a d20 for attack, with plus due 2 + 1 from javelin, a d6 for damage. I had quite a few crits and some high damage rolls, resulting in close to 330 damage in 1 turn, and causing so many large holes that there weren't many large chunks of flesh without a massive puncture wound not too far away. I did in 1 round more damage than the creature had health, and about 10 times as much as the barbarian had managed to pull off at that point. The DM switched the music to the Final Fantasy Victory Song, some orchestral 3-minute version. As the behemoth chain devil fell, it began to rain. Minor Big Bad.
To free these people, send out your champion.
I volunteered to go out and meet him. When he sees me approach, he releases one of the 2 captives. He starts talking smack, insulting my height and my beard. Dwarf with a 5-foot beard. Roll initiative. He rolls 1 higher than me. He attacks. Nat 20. I was level 1 too. So I was downed. And of course I roll 1 on my first death save. So I just started playing a Minotaur War Domain Cleric. In our second session, we decided to go for the bounties in the mess hall of town. I grabbed the last one, and the only thing I saw was undead. I snatched it so fast and asked my party if we can go. Our fighter grabbed another one in case the one I grabbed was too challenging. After a 2-hour walk outside of the town, we came across some giant snake tracks. Our warlock put 2 and 2 together at the last second. It was a bone naga, and we rolled for rotation, and I, the cleric, was first. House rule: elemental damage is doubled, i.e. fire is ×2 against water. My first roll, nat 20 + 2, 15 radiant, doubled from elemental and crit. It was 60 damage, first blow, and killed it as our Goliath barbarian was shocked as well. We killed the final boss at the start of the campaign. So, the party starts at a prison run by the final boss, an ancient demon older than the earth. We escaped the prison and came face to face with the demon. We were supposed to lose, but 3 of us rolled nat 20s and killed him immediately. The DM didn't know what to do, so he ended the campaign. In one campaign of Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, we had a party that had a paladin in it. This particular paladin was completely devoted to the king of the country we were in. The king was also a paladin of the same god. We came across a battlefield where a large number of orcs, goblins, and humans were all killed. While investigating what happened there, a wizard revealed himself, played by a new guy at the table. This wizard was supposed to join the party, but during the introduction of characters, the paladin stated that he served the kind. The wizard, being neutral evil, piped off with,
"To hell with the king."
That pissed off the paladin and he drew his sword and attacked. Nat 20. Did about 25 damage total. And the wizard only had about 12 HP. The DM described it well.
"The paladin's sword arcs from shoulder to hip easily, cutting the annoying man in a dress,"
what we called robes for fun,
"clean in half, falling in 2 different directions."
We had to carry the body back to town to resurrect him, but it was hilarious. That player's death happened less than 5 minutes after the character was introduced. We still make fun of the man in the dress to this day. So, we were in a very homebrewed campaign. In the 3rd session, the elf wizard decided to be religious to a god he created, which was a friend in real life. I let him pray during a battle against a leviathan, and this was the first round. I said since the god didn't exist in my world, I said he'd have to get a really high roll. He rolled a nat 20. So, he created a god, and that god struck the leviathan with about 50 bolts of lightning. They were level 3. Sessions later, a boss I was hyping up for months, which was the son of Tiamat, so a very powerful dragon, but he was in his old age because of time travel. Round 1, the wizard rolled a nat 20. Instantly, we had decided the damage by then, and he instantly dealt 168 damage. I regret making the damage die 10d20, and instantly moved the dragon into phase 2. Funny thing is, during phase 2, the bard nearly died from fall damage by a stupid misty step over a cliff onto the dragon. Well, at least he tried. Hey everybody, Brian here, checking in after the vid as per usual. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and to ring that bell to get notified whenever we post a new video, or if we happen to go live. Of course, if you'd like to catch us live properly, go down in the description below where you can find a link to our Twitch. And if you'd like to have a little bit more fun with the stories out there, check out our sub-channel Riptovia. It's got a lot of the same but different stuff out there. Links are in the description below. If you have a story that you'd like to submit to us, make sure to do so on our subreddit r/MrRipper. And last but not least, if you'd like to come check out your boy Brian Von VA, do so on Twitch and YouTube. Links, again, are in the description. I could say it 1,000 times, just look in the description for everything you need to know. It's all in there, from music to the artwork that we use, anything and everything's down there. As always, I try to end things on a positive note, and today is no different. I just kind of wanted to say something dead simple, something so easy that pretty much anybody and everyone out there has heard it 1,000 times and will hear it 1,000 more. Just be yourselves and take your time with whatever you do in the world. Don't let anybody rush you. Don't let anybody tell you that you're doing things right or wrong. Only you can really decide that for yourself. And it can be kind of a pain in the ass some days, but if you keep on going and you keep trying your best, the world's just gonna be all right. You just gotta keep on keeping on. Keep your chin up, keep your spirits up, talk to your family, talk to a professional, talk to friends, talk to anybody you can, or just record something, write something down, anything to get your thoughts out into the world so you can be the best you that you can be. And in by proxy, you're gonna have a good life. Little by little, but you'll get there. You just have to have faith in yourself. All the love, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.